Vodafone presents the pre-match.
It's Vodafone pre-match time ahead of our game of Cloud9 taking on Rogue. They'll be starting on Inferno, and they're two teams that are in quite a very different spot to each other. Cloud9 right at the bottom. Some may not have expected it, but this new roster is yet to show us really what they've got. And Rogue, more towards the top end at the moment. Had some very good games, had some nice showings from him, and a Rogue that obviously gets a new in-game leader and still managing to perform, even with the in-game leader not actually being in the same region as him in terms of he's actually still home in Europe playing with high ping.
Yeah, it's definitely not optimal. And it's a massive change, obviously. You're losing both an AWP and an in-game leader. I think the bigger change is obviously the in-game leader, just because every single in-game leader, end of the day, has certain nuances that they like to do their own way.
Yeah.
So you definitely expect that to be a bit of a curveball, just getting to a season and having to adjust simultaneously. But they've actually managed to do that pretty well. I'm expecting them to mostly just rely on the things that they've had before, and then Crystal's just going to bring in some of that more different European flavor, if you will,
yeah.
From his past experiences with a lot of tremendous players and teams. He's guided some teams all the way from like Penta, all the way from the open qualifiers of a minor into the top 16 of a major. So that's a pretty nice treat.
Still confused to why he's not an Imperial anymore. Didn't agree with that decision. It's just one of them brain dead moments.
No,
right?
I mean, it's one of those things where I think a star player in the team just not agreeing with someone trying to put a leash on him and just like hold him like, nope, you're not supposed to go Esperanto.
Yeah.
Stay back a little bit. He wanted to be, wild and free.
Hinder themselves. Is
Yeah,
what
that's the thing. That's the thing sometimes.
Now, before we break down this game any further, we've got some of our wonderful pro tips for you. This time around, though, we're going to be looking at... it's not a pro tip. I get it wrong the way around. That went so well, and then I remembered what it actually is. We're doing an armory first. Then I might deliver you a pro tip if you really like them that much. So let's take a little closer look at the Deagle.
Something Israeli is hidden here in the armory, a place where Schwarzenegger himself would feel at home. With its high learning curve and amazing damage, it's one of the most beloved guns in the game. So let's open up and see. This semi-automatic handgun fires bullets the size of a small fist, almost, and is affectionately dubbed the hand cannon due to its massive 50 caliber rounds. Anyone who has ever tried to use a gun in-game will tell you it packs a ridiculous punch, but it's exceptionally hard to master as well. So let's witness this brutal pistol up close and personal. Boasting the largest center-fire cartridge of any magazine-fed, self-loading pistol in the world, this heavy-hitting handgun is used by Polish and Portuguese elite forces, which is a testament to its reliability and power. Welcome to the Desert Eagle. The Deagle only has 7 shots in the magazine, making it a high-risk, high-reward gun, as you can take out multiple enemies in a matter of seconds, or you can miss all your shots and die. But it really shows its worth in eco rounds, as it does 63 damage and has the 3rd highest armor penetration in the game with 93.2%. That makes it a $700 one-shot headshot gun, whether opponents are wearing a helmet or not. And this has coined the weapon's very own CSGO term, the 1D. But damage doesn't come without a cost, and this means it has a high amount of recoil. It takes a decent amount of time for the gun to settle or reset after each shot, which potentially exposes a carrier. But with its fairly low cost and its high damage, it's a necessary gun to master as a pro CSGO player, as it gives a struggling team a chance in rounds where opponents carry high damage assault rifles, snipers, or SMGs. But just how the Deagle works, I'll show you now. It's time now to show what the hand cannon is capable of on the map, the Mirage. First off, our CT player will jump into the window area to hold mid. A terrorist with no armor pushes out and gets killed instantly with a headshot. Now, an armored terrorist does the exact same thing, and, well, he still gets killed with a headshot. And that truly is the strength of the Deagle, its one-shot ability. But it's not easy to use the Deagle because its recoil is so high that if you shoot it too fast, it's definitely uncontrollable. Therefore, you need to take your time between each shot so every bullet counts when you use the Deagle. And if you do miss a shot, well, something like this situation might happen as a terrorist pushes up ramp and you want to hold that angle. So summing up on the Deagle, it's an important gun to master, it's a hard gun to use, and if you can't hit those headshots, you will have a hard time using it.
I absolutely love these little clips. That's the way we get to see it done. the Deagle power being shown there. It's quite nice, as I said, to bring in these players who maybe are new to Counter-Strike, just tuning in, just enjoying what they're seeing here. You get to have an understanding of how it's going to go down.
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously a lot of little details to every single weapon to be learned, and then just going through them. It's obviously very, very important. It's the first start, like the first thing you gotta learn about the game is basically understanding what weapon is which. And the Deagle obviously is a weapon that probably gives you, like, along with AWP, the most spectacular kills, obviously, because of its one-shot, headshot, kill capability. And then when you give it to some capable hands, it can definitely be a work of art.
Well, it's a satisfying gun. And talking about capable hands, take a look at this clip from a certain man. You might even remember this if you tuned into Pro League earlier in the week.
I mean, coldzera, he is capable Deagler. With that patience and that crosshair placement, it's just so spot on. Obviously, even through all of them are quite naughty, but the second one where he's just transitioning his aim to the top of the balcony, it's pretty cool to see. And not everyone's capable of doing that. And there's definitely a distinction between pro players as well. Like some of them are like super nutty with that weapon. Like one player that comes to my mind, Nico.
Yes.
Apart from coldzera, it just comes to my mind as a sick Deagler. Simple, obviously, he's just great with every single weapon.
Yeah.
Just give him a knife only, and he'll probably still rack up some kills, any game. But yeah, it definitely is. It's just fun to watch Deagles, and I think it's cool also that it makes, like, the way that Counter-Strike or CS:GO specifically is built. Is the fact that every single round counts. Every single round can be very, very dangerous because obviously not only Deagle, we have a CZs, a P250s, a variety of different pistols that can do a lot of damage at capable hands. And when played correctly, also there's the have to position yourself correctly. And I think patience is like the #1 thing when it comes to Deagle. Like in the armory video we saw, you can't just spam it. You really do have to reset that recall and not just spam it. You need to have that rhythm, and you'll only get that with a lot of hours in the game.
Now, I did promise the guys at home a pro tip to come their way, but we're going to hold on to it until after the game, after the first map.
Oh, what a tease. You're a tease, James.
That's what I like to do. Tease me, baby. See?
This guy.
It's got to be done, man. We've got to give ourselves that time to focus on the game.
All right.
So, Inferno, Cloud9 versus Rogue. The biggest issues I see for this matchup is just obviously we're still only now like 8 maps deep for Cloud9 in terms of what they've played. They did just beat Luminosity on it though, 16-13. So, okay, close scoreline, and we don't rate Luminosity at the moment and how they're playing that highly. But Cloud9 neither, so that's an interesting kind of judge of where Cloud9's at currently.
I think there's definitely still positives when it comes to Cloud9 already with this new iteration of the lineup with Golden and Flush on it. I do like the way they've been playing their T sides already. I think there's a good foundation, just due to the fact that they're definitely trying to build those fundamental basic things. A lot of defaults, getting proper map control, and then when you need to, you're going to go for those half buys and have some good old set pieces. And a map like Inferno, it definitely does work, and it's something you can go by. Something else we noticed before, obviously for Cloud9 as well, Automatic is an important player on this lineup, on this map specifically because of all the groundwork he does in Banana on the T side, previously on the CT side as well. But we noticed last time around they actually changed things around. Flush and Golden now playing that B bomb side on the CT side, so I'm not sure if that's a nationality thing. They want to get the sweet sword into the B bomb side for some reason, or I'm assuming it's just going to be more like, yeah, these guys are more they know each other, better. Maybe makes sense to put them together into a bomb side kind of a thing. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely some good takeaways from Cloud9 already. They're just got to be able to like piece together a complete map, and then obviously moving forward, complete series to be able to actually be a threat against better teams. And now playing against Rogue, I think this is a rather even matchup. Cloud9 definitely has a good possibility of getting into this. But I think of Rogue on a map like Inferno, I go back to the major. They played against Astralis, and they were close to beating them, actually.
16-13, right? Yeah, that was a very close game.
And that was a game where Rogue was up in the game as well. Like, they were actually just playing, like, super well against a team like Astralis. So that is positive signs for them.
This is their game against Renegades. We actually started off the season with being shown the screens. And one thing that for Inferno, right, for Rogue, it's one of their strongest maps at the moment, even after the changes. It was before Cadian left as well. So it's a map there more than comfortable. And I feel like it's going to be a bit more difficult just on the first map here for Cloud9. The fact that, okay, you're going up against a Rogue who has made less changes than you have quite recently. You've only got one other player trading in. You've got a bit more of a core there to work off of. And I think actually at the moment, Rogue just individually, they seem to be really feeling it. They're getting away with quite a few strong games here in Pro League.
Yeah, I mean, initially for Rogue, I think the match that we watched them play against Renegades, as we see here, I think they just got rammed by some honeymoon perioding Renegades. They were playing really, really well, especially that Inferno game. They got the dream start, won the pistol round, dominated a couple of first weapon rounds in Banana, just obliterated Rogue basically. And that's always going to like hinder your confidence a little bit, obviously, and make it seem like, okay, this T side is not that great. But you know, there's also always that two sides to the story. So considering Cloud9 CT sides haven't really been that great yet, I think there's definitely potential here for Rogue to be racking up a lot of T rounds as well.
Yeah, and that's what I want to see as well. I think this is Rogue's game to lose at the moment. I feel like we got Cloud9 in a good position, but we're still not fully aware of how deep it can go for them. And I felt just from what we've seen from Rogue's been a little bit ahead. Yeah,
there's just so many unanswered questions still. It's way too early in the lifespan of that team to really make an assessment of what's what. I mean, the signs are, you know, they're okay. They're positive, obviously, against the teams that they've faced so far. But yeah, it's nothing to really get super excited about yet, because they've not been able to, on the match that we've seen, really being able to like pull together like complete maps.
Well, one person I want to talk about and bring you guys involved, Scorning Launders joining us back on the desk, is Vice on Rogue. He has had game after game of being Mr. Consistent and actually putting in some good numbers for this team.
Yeah, that has been a new title for him. It's just like showing up as like very consistent and also is very explosive and gets like a lot of flashy kills as well, like memorable frags, you know? And I think that's important for the team. Whole roster looks really good overall. Crystal's only maybe question mark so far. Just will he fill the shoes of Cadian? But overall, team looks all right. I don't know. Who do you think is going to win this game? I really don't know.
It's a really hard toss-up. Again, it's kind of like we've got two teams in flux. We've got two middle-of-the-pack type teams. I want to kind of give the edge to Rogue just because I think they've been showing promise as of late. But you got to topple some really raw talent with Cloud9. I think they unarguably still have that, despite any shakiness that they may still result from that. But I'll give the edge to Rogue just because I'm feeling them.
I really like the addition of Ricky we see in this Rogue lineup. Actually,
Ricky is so good.
I feel like he's finally found his form, like finally found his footing in terms of like, I felt like he was way too aggressive at times before. That kind of cost him a little bit, but now he's really found his timings in the way that when do I need to be aggressive, when do I need to be passive.
Yeah, I feel like playing on CLG is just really bad for your brand and career. So it's good.
No matter who you are.
At least in the CSGO roster at the time, it just looked like so bad. It felt like everyone was very unhappy. So I think there's a lot to see from all those players. You know, Ethan flourishing on Energy and now Ricky on Rogue.
It's taken him a bit of time to recover, but let's see how it goes on Inferno. It's going to be Cloud9 taking on Rogue.
Inferno to kick it off, Launders. You got any specific feelings about that one, my friend?
I actually don't. I mean, I think we saw Cloud9 play Inferno yesterday. They were trying stuff. I think that was the most crazy thing was that I think at one point Skadoodle was the only player who didn't op.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry. Let's talk about that for a second. Yeah. Let's talk about the way that it's basically been a game of keep away in terms of the AWP and Skadoodle.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand if you have some woes with his current or recent performances and you want to maybe open up the opportunity to AWP to other players. Okay, fine. But it's literally like they just kept it out of his hands in specific. There was even a time, I believe, the last round of the game yesterday, Golden was opping over everyone.
Opped, yeah.
So it's bizarre. Again, he can be questioned, sure, I get that aspect of it, but he shouldn't just be completely ignored.
Yeah, and maybe he's not opping, but they still haven't found who is. Because Automatic picked it up, and he seemed like the primary guy. But then, as you mentioned, Golden also was the only person holding an op on some of the rounds. So, and then Flusha obviously is opt. It's just literally Skadoodle and Rush that haven't opt at all. And so I really wonder where it's going to fall. Maybe, I mean, sure they talked about it after yesterday's match. They probably spent a lot of time talking about who would pick it up. And now they get to have another go at it. I want to know, is there going to be more consistency in terms of who we see opping, or will it continue to change hands based on spawn or like unknown quantities?
Even with Skadoodle playing that rifle, though, I think yesterday, again on Inferno in particular, he was doing a really good job of still using that M4 coming out of Boiler, trying to upset this A bomb site, looking for those opening picks and duels. And that's a job that I think you can do with an op as well. So curious to see if he gets his paws on it. I'd really like to see it at least once. However,
Just for old time's sake.
we're going to have to wait until they've got the money to do so. Odds currently favoring Cloud9's victory here. And again, I can see why. I feel like this is a bit of a toss-up. Whoa!
Oh my god.
Just flush of things.
Just flush of things. Crystal's just got to back off now.
No other choice. Puts down the smoke, trying to puff up his chest as if there is more of a defense here, when in reality it is only him. Of course, he's blocked off as well, so Cloud9 going to be getting that 5-man after plant. 10 alive, even though Crystal's lucky to be standing.
Yeah, using a lot of Crystal's bullets here too. 15 bullets in total now. 5v5 after plant, not a position you want to be in. It's going to probably come down to Flusha on Banana, stopping 2 players right now.
Yeah, everybody else is just pinned into the back of the site. CTs know it because they have construction and everywhere else. If they get Banana, it would have really been awful, but instead, everyone's dead. Cloud9, 4 up at the end, and Flusha, great entry to push Crystal off. Not quite an entry, but you get the point. And then, of course, locking down the flank was crucial, too.
Yeah, no, the damage he did was so significant. Crystal could have stayed and fought in different, multitude of different ways, but instead had to play a retake position, and retake on the B side almost never ends well for the CTs, and especially in a round where they don't have much utility. So here, Rogue buy up. They've got armor on 4 players. They have a couple of upgraded guns, and they have, it seems like a very standard setup. 3 in lane, though, so slight stack dedicated to stopping a plant at A through the closest route, while Cloud9 look to take Hall's control. Always scary to take Hall's control versus pistols. A lot of small corridors into these hallways, but C teams have to do it sometimes.
Yeah, you get within that range of lethality. Play into the strengths of the little that Rogue does hold on to. But everybody's actually outside of these doorways. The halls are clear. It's this push that could cost them. One on top of the far balconies, one in the corner playing counter flash. And the closest of all is now down. Tico moving back from the pillar with a drive-by 5-7 spam. Could nail himself another, but will not in this case. So 3v2 and another from Skadoodle. Using that MP5 like a king. Last man up is sick, and he's gone. Running for the hills.
Pretty good attempt at the hold. All of Cloud9 fell on their feet, obviously, but nice kills overall, and they picked the right part of the map to stack, which is good for them. That is one gamble in the books. Sick is going to work his way up mid. CZ wouldn't put it past him to maybe get one more frag, score a kill. Oh, maybe pick up a gun.
Hello, hello.
Pretty clean swipe.
Mac 10, although.
Look at that, the CZ bigger than the Mac 10 and Icon. I really just want to know. I want to be in the team speak with Cloud9 and figure out. I want to know what they talk about. I want to be a fly on the wall of the C9 house and learn what do they talk about, or what are they talking about right now? What's the conversation like? What kind of jokes do they make? You know?
Swedish ones.
Swedish ones, right?
Swedish yokes.
They got the Swedish IGL and then the Swedish Superstar.
And Skadoodle doesn't make much noise.
That's true.
So
He's actually very funny, though.
yeah. Oh yeah. No, one of those people who doesn't speak a lot, but when he does, it's always going to be, you know, well thought through and
Yeah.
quick whip.
Absolutely. Very funny guy.
I like that type of humor. You know, the quiet guy you never sleep on. And there's people like you that are just way too loud.
Just so many funny things to say, you know? Gotta keep talking.
Little presence towards B. Obviously, still just such a minimal setup for Rogue. This one's a technicality more than anything else. They have 0 chances of really winning. That grenade's meant to clear anyone off Coffin, but there is in fact nobody there. It's just Sick, the sole survivor of the previous round, who was nice enough to give his Mac 10 to Rick A.
What a guy. You know, what a stand-up gentleman.
Kind-hearted. Does enable for the Mac to be on the other side of the map.
What exactly was Crystal jump spotting there?
Not sure.
He was just bouncing around.
Just so excited to get to the gun rounds, you know?
I can't wait for this gun round. Gonna spam my mouse wheel.
Bomb plant safely next to coffins. Nothing has been stopped. Nothing's been heard. Other than Crystal's damage, nobody else has taken a single bit. Sick. Not going to find Flush's frag like that. 7 HP the difference as he flies by with the SMG. Skadoodle hears the movement now, and he emerges quietly from the apartments only for a single frag. Wonder if they can rack up any more losses versus Cloud9. Crystal should definitely catch Automatic, and he will. The AK of Golden now in position, but these CTs with the smoke trying to cut him off as Rush hits the other side. Clear them all out. That's the game plan. And it doesn't go perfectly, in fact. They lost 3 bodies and almost a 4th. Remember, Flusha could have been another one to the corpse side.
Yeah. Oh, they missed the AK, so they drop a gun. They don't get that another round. I think it was worth the attempt, for sure, to try to swap for the AK, but they don't get away with it. Good overall anti-ecos. They saved some money on most players. And now the op. Who gets it? Who gets it? It's changing hands, goes to Flusha. It lands in automatics now. So it seems like they want to give this automatic thing a real shot. Let's see what he can do. Probably the most valuable player on the team right now. Him and Rush. I think I feel for them, man, because they deserve better. But the rest of the team are really good. Hopefully it comes together. I don't really know where I was going with that. It just feels like it's probably got to hurt the original core the hardest.
Yeah. I mean, they do still make up the majority of the major champions.
Yeah.
Skadoodle in there too.
It's true. Back to the minor system.
It's actually everybody other than Golden.
Right. That's true. He is at the helm, but he is used to playing with major champions.
Yep. Do you think major champions remind you they're major champions?
I'm sure they let it. I'm sure they let it out once in a while.
Like, listen, Automatic, why didn't you do what I just said? I'm a major champion.
I can't hear people that didn't win majors.
Yeah. No, I doubt it. I think Timothy Taw, correct?
Yeah, he's a humble, reasonable guy,
Yep.
Down to the core. So
Tech pause for whatever reason. I'm assuming either that or the most bizarre of setups
or
I've
the
ever
meta
seen.
has changed a lot.
Yeah, it's not my Counter-Strike.
This is why we set up the smooths.
It's fun to see people running around during smooths. I feel like more often than not, you just see them standing in the buy spot.
Mm-hmm.
But you get a little cinematic experience with this one.
Okay, gonna have to mash medic the round.
Which also means,
We're back on the cam.
what do you want to do with this? You want to dance? I don't.
Yeah,
I was trying to convince James to give us a little shuffle. He said he was full of energy earlier, so I was trying to convince him to dance.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, what kind of moves James could offer.
I feel like it's not very mobile.
No?
No.
No, he's got to wait probably that 2-foot shuffle. Something along those lines.
Yeah, sometimes Connor gets filled up with energy and then he'll burst into like just a entire body wiggle.
Yeah, yeah.
That actually happens quite often.
It does. It's just like I can't contain myself.
What kind of kid were you?
An annoying one.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I was so annoying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm still working on it in life, and,
Yeah.
and life is a constant
You're telling me.
process of improving, right?
Right.
But I used to be that kid who just never had a filter in terms of making jokes. So I was the class clown, right?
Oh, there we go. We
There's
got some
James
moves.
dancing. If
Fortunately,
only we
it's
had
on.
that camera
I mean, you can
angle.
bring it on camera if you want to.
No, he won't. I know he won't.
All right.
Big guy, small balls. But what again is a skill, right? Is learning when to make jokes, and that's something that took time as a kid. I was that annoying one in class that always interrupt for the sake of attention.
You've got to. I mean, that's how you get good, right? You've got to be annoying.
Yep,
I think so.
it's a process.
Okay, why are we punching it on me now?
Because I mean, I
I
thought
don't
you
have
were
a
the
wiggle
good
for
looks.
you guys. And also, I'm so like, our makeup lady leaves
Early.
like after she does her makeup once.
I mean, I say early. It's actually
and then
incredibly
thank
late.
you. Let's see the shine, huh? Let's look at the shine for a second.
Is there a camera angle like that of me?
No,
Probably
you got
not.
yellow teeth, so they don't want to punch in too close.
Damn.
Now you want to...
Oh no, it is.
Okay, there we go.
Hey,
Yeah, that's
good.
a winning smile right there.
feels good. I like this attention, right? We were just talking about it.
I like how we don't. I mean, we were told we're going back on camera.
Yep.
Someone said something. Tom and Eric said something about a match medic, but we don't know why, and we don't know why it's taking so long.
Tom and Eric, they can never really agree.
Tom plus Eric, they just
Yeah.
always get at each other's throats.
That's my impression of Doja.
Oh, when he freaks out
Yeah,
because
that
he
gif?
smiles.
Yeah, he's
Can
all
you do
excited.
the crazy eyes?
I'll try it. Hold on. So it's something like a. Right? Is that good?
Yeah, wait, punch in on Connor.
So this is the impression of Doja. It's a gift from DreamHack. What,
Punch it
Winter?
on Connor. Tom, Eric, either of you.
We want to zoom in on my face so I can impersonate Doja.
All right,
Thank you.
face on one.
Face on one. Ready? So this is Doja when he
Doja,
looks over
yeah.
his shoulder and scares himself.
And scene.
Is that good? Is that good?
Oh my goodness.
Now you can pivot it back on Launders.
Okay, yeah.
What impressions do you have?
Hopefully there's a way to clip that.
Hopefully not. James is
Oh
back.
my god, I think we got the okay for the dance. Wow, that was something.
Yeah, that's about what I expected.
I won't forget that, you know? I'll always remember that.
I wish I could. Thank you, James, for your entertainment. We'll give you 45 schmeckles
Schmeckles.
and a pat on the back.
Is that like the...
It's a currency from Rick and Morty.
Right.
You wouldn't understand.
Yeah, no, I've watched every episode, but it never made sense.
Some of them get over my head.
IQ's not high enough.
No, sir.
So suddenly you watch TV shows?
I watch a select amount of TV shows, so I'm the kind of person who never feels motivated to watch TV. But then once
That's because you can't sit
once
still,
it
right?
yeah, exactly. I'm too.
Yeah.
But once it catches my attention, I definitely do delve into the depths of binge watching.
Rick and Morty was just so crazy with all
Yeah.
the blood in different
Yeah,
colors.
well,
and-
I like animated shows.
okay.
Right? I like animated humor. I'm a big fan of Family Guy too.
Yeah.
You know, there's a select few. Black Mirror, American Horror Story.
Started watching that.
Rick and
You watch
Morty.
American Horror Story?
Yeah.
You ever been afraid to watch scary stuff?
Yeah. I only watch it with my girlfriend.
Shut up.
Yeah.
You're the one holding your girlfriend.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she holds me close. I'm the little spoon, if you couldn't have guessed.
You're the. It's supposed to be awkward size-wise for that to be executed properly.
Oh, who's the dead corpse? Isn't that depressing?
Yeah, he's face down. I've had a drunk night like that for sure.
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna say I've seen that. I've seen that body language. But we're back, folks. How about that? AWP up in the hands of Automatic, and another one for Rikke. So it's a nice full buy in the 5th round of Map 1. Cloud9 obviously having asserted themselves in exchange of grenades towards Banana at an immediate evacuation from Rogue. That then doubles back. Crystal is going to try to steadfast hold as he can. Manages to even find Flusha.
Yeah, gets away scot-free. Almost scot-free. But Flusha is down. Golden to replace him, and we've seen this before. Golden loves to be aggro. He takes a ton of risks. Not exactly the best player to do it, but sometimes he frags. And there's one. Sick can't peek wide enough to get this kill either, but Automatic from the backlines. Clean crosshair placement with the AWP. And now they can hold on to the site. They have to get the bomb back into B, but they still have a couple of smokes remaining on their players who are rotating in. I think Rush goes ahead and launches his. And now they can plant. Rogue are going to be aware of what's going on, but even getting into position here, you can't give them the edge in the post-plant situation.
We haven't given them anything at all. They've been keeping the eyes on doors for the vast majority of their B control. They do give it up once the plant actually happens. And that's a very important kill, I'd say, Hiko finding Skadoodle. It allows for them to fixate on the site in an even situation in terms of body count. Utility pretty much all out. A single smoke now thrown. And that's just going to envelop the bomb. So may try to sneak away with the plant. There's no kit currently on them. And
Gave it the best shot.
damn, Launders. Even after all that presence, despite being so close to the retake,
Everyone dies.
seems so. Rikke just trying to keep Golden in, and he falls with the
Ooh.
cause. Quick flicks from Rick.
Very nice. That's 4 down in that afterplant, so well done. Well done from Rogue. Cloud9 at least to get away with the round. They are not going to be too upset about this, all things considered, considering they won, they got into the site in the 4v5. Rogue gave up a lot of space there. Sick usually really great on the anchor, but Golden was just a bit better today. Actually, Automatic was the one who took him out. So, give him another go at the op, and we should definitely try to catch these frags.
Well, CT's dodge frags, not being caught in them. Then immediately will fall back, not wanting to play around with that banana control. It has been rapid and very much committed from Cloud9. They have the entirety of the app's control. Nobody there for Rogue, able to contain it because they're thin on numbers. 3 CTs towards B. Rikke on the forefront. Flush is going to try to make some noise, and that does actually elicit the peek from Rikke.
Love the re-aggression on Banana. Flusha thinks he's done with this, and they're not going to come back. Leaves just in time for Rogue to get the info, and now the rotates are starting to come over. Since there's a minute up, they can't make too many guesses, but since they have Ricky, they can afford to take a risk.
Bullets go by, and Cloud9 go through. Smoke starting to fade at the 40-second mark. Still some grenades for the CTs, but oh, sick. Stands inside of the flames, gets away with 1 point of health. That is ludicrous. And Hiko, with his teammates, still sectioned off within pit, able to fight back. Despite having a headshot angle, Golden's still very wary. Don't blame him. He will manage the first frag, but do they expect Hiko? He's still gone unannounced. He finally reveals himself, killing Automatic and pushing it onto only Flusha, who is the next to fall. It's a plant, sure enough, but it's Rogue on the board as we hit this 5th round.
And because they got the entire set of rebuys out that last round, Cloud9 don't have much money. They've at least got the plant to fall back on, so they won't have to double save, which is kind of big, but a plant here would be enormous for them as well. They're going to be kind of low next round. And so Rogue, excuse me, are doing a great job after losing those first 4. Looking set to come back into this. Great buy right here. Ricky looking smooth on the op already. We've seen it in this match in the past couple of rounds. See if he can continue with this presence. And Cloud9 don't put anything on a flash. I think a plant would be enormous for them, but I guess they're so set on buying they don't want to tarnish that by spending anything too early and risk not getting a plant.
Gotta be cautious. Don't want to offer up one of these guns, because if you do, we'll finally have someone with Cloud9 firing off with heavy hardware. For now, they'll just inch their way closer and closer. Inevitably, they will explode, one would think. And hopefully for Cloud9's sake, they'll do so with still a fair amount of bodies standing. Ricky only skims the numbers by finding himself 1. Then it's just a flurry of frags here to the favor of Rogue, so they move through the anti-eco with absolute ease. A 2nd round immediately off the 1st.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how the rest of this half goes for sure. Rogue looking a lot better now. And even without that plant, as we mentioned, Cloud9 put together the buy. They saved enough with the initial plant. Everyone's got nades so far. Flusha only has a UMP, unfortunately, but the rest of his teammates are well set to get at least a couple of flashes, maybe a smoke if they so desire. Scoodle actually has got the almost filled out utility kit. And now we are on to another rifle round. Initial banana control taken quickly at the cost of no HP whatsoever. So Rogue, in exchange, have traded for apartments, and they are in jeopardy.
Not anticipating such a close angle. Ricky loses half his health on the fallback, so that's good wallbang damage. It's not entirely enough to skim the numbers back into even ground. We see this rotation from Cloud9 starting to work its way towards B, and all the while, Rogue will do the same. Moving Ricky over to help Sick.
Frontside smoke goes down. That's just missed, actually, I think, from the CTs. Sick falls back now. Another retake on B? Ooh.
Automatic charges straight through. Just bones 2 of them. And possibly another crystal down. Vice trades. That's something here for Rogue, and they do maintain only a 1-man disadvantage. Bomb planted, grenades down and in, but no further opportunities here for Rogue. The entirety of Cloud9 is actually here within the site in Banana, so you can see them wary of the flank, and that's just not the case. They're actually expending utilities here, something that they could have used to save, but they just wanted to ensure their exit instead.
Yeah, maybe create the illusion that someone might come back. Hiko does catch someone else on the fallback. Cloud9 saw an opportunity to kill him on the way out, and it looks like they will continue to chase as well. Hiko is definitely in danger. Low HP for both players, and they should be fine now at this point. So Rogue lose that round. Automatic, what a round from him. Totally schooled all 3 players on the B site. That was pretty nuts, man. The 2 rotators, Sick out the business. He just definitely just handed it to him. It's actually Ricky to go first, even. And look how he plays this peek, just holds the perfect angle, instant headshot. Vice is right there, but it's too late at that point. So back in the power position, but Rogue are not doing too shabby. Ricky here, line of sight down mid with the op, flashed off his position. Good early nade. Crystal is tagged so low. And Rogue looked like they wanted to pressure for B control once again. Flesha knows exactly where that smoke bounced from. Ooh, almost readjusts his game. Somehow, even crazier, gets away.
Yeah, it looked like somebody was going to die in that engagement, but no, not to be. Still keeping up that pressure, though. I feel like they know this map control could be for the taking. Once Crystal gets softened up, Flesha probably calls that the odds are they are gone, which is correct in assuming.
I think they know they've just done so much damage to them at top banana, and they overstayed their welcome that even though it's 5v5, this is clearly the better site to go to. Now, Automatic's out in the open, but he's got a teammate watching spawn for him in case Ricky decides to peek. Third rotates a foot. And Cloud9, I don't know if they want to now second guess themselves. That's what I'm going to be for Halloween right there.
Yeah. Even though they've had this consistent A pressure, they're not moving bomb in this direction, so it's going to be
so smart.
Golden's wraparound.
Yeah, this is great. They know Arch will be weak because the players are so low, most likely. So they decide to just try to do a walk up here, and Golden's getting a lurk off.
Crystal loses vision to the smoke, and Flusha punishes him for being out in the open. They do lose that A rotator, which means it's all in from Banana. Ricky trying to contest the bomb site as it is most certainly planted will find nothing for his efforts. Couple attempted wallbangs too. The glass panel playing to his strengths, but it's a boost on new box. Automatic dropping Vice. There's still an op up for Rogue as well. That does belong to Ricky, but it's him and his teammates stranded in construction with that third over towards the spawn. Not making a move. How many times, Launders, have we seen this? Rogue close to the bomb site, but just so incapable of finding anything that they don't move forward.
Yeah, they get caught out. They get caught in construction, but then they don't get anything going, and then they're just like, now they can't even leave that easily. Somehow, they've been able to like get these fadeaway shots as they're moving the spawn, but it's definitely Cloud9 who had the advantage the whole time. So it's really strange, but Rogue, they're just unable to win these. They're just not able to hold B number one. That's been a really big problem for them. Sick dies almost always by himself and not able to get a kill. But Cloud9 did such a good job of gaming the rotations there, where they did so much damage. They knew they could test B, put pressure on it. Rogue would have to assume that they might go there and that it looked appealing. And even from our perspective, we saw like how intent Flesha was on putting pressure there. And then they used Arch as the weakness from Rogues. They knew a rotation would probably be cheated over towards B. Once again, focusing their attention there. I like it. They found a weak spot. They've pummeled it so many times. It's tender, and they just want to keep going in. There it is. Flesha gets his initial entry already.
Sick to try and take his place. He wants that gun. Anything for his efforts. Drop shot from Ricky, but he does lose Vice in the process. I don't know if Vice was needed there in front.
I think it was just... Yeah, at that point, it's like,
yeah.
I think he was already, he's like, this is what I do when you do this, and then...
Kind of costs him in the end. Hiko could obscure this middle presence from Cloud9. The bomb's still able to rotate in either direction. I mean, B is open for the taking, and maybe now that they've felt this stack, or at least the threat from Hiko, they will retreat. Automatic firing off. It's got to be cautious because Hiko's coming. Rounding the corner just in time, but now he knows if the bomb plants on B, he can lock down Banana, has all the vision towards mid, and this is going to favor him. It's at a good distance for the op.
I like that he's playing by the wall and not by the car. A little bit less pre-fireable. Easy to fall back from, but he's got more opponents.
Yeah, and he's running out of angles to fall into. Hits the shot onto Hiko. That's going to soften him up, but he loses the duel versus Ricky. And now there's another one here. It falls onto Flusha, and he cannot manage all three. So there you go. It's Rogue with a third, and that's half the score of Cloud9.
Yeah. That's a good way to put it. And It seemed like they were getting stomps, but it's not that far. They're not that far ahead. They finally win the retake on B with pistols of all things, and it seemed like Automatic had that locked down. I thought he was even going to get that kill into CT, but his aim was just a slight bit off, and his teammate, I think it was Rush, jumping up on the grill, just got caught with his pants down, was trying to maybe get in a position to hold for Banana as soon as Automatic died, but it came too quickly. So that left Flesh in the 1v3. If he won that last duel, probably he wins the 1v1 as well, because he knows exactly where the other player is from. But overall, good trades from Rogue. Strong eco. And now a match pause.
Good time to talk things over. Tactical timeout for Rogue. Knowing, of course, that the reset is a possibility.
Yeah, maybe a math timeout. A little math powwow.
Wouldn't blame them. Calculate the buy, get the most bang for your buck. Oh wait, they have plenty of money.
Yeah, no, but to see if Cloud9 were resettable, yeah?
Right, of course. And the answer is absolutely yes. They will not have an AWP on any of their possible oppers. And they have that Mac 10 for Rush. There's a little bit of a limitation here for Cloud9, but that could also be a strength if they deploy it properly. Although now it's out of the equation. Rick, fast flick, and the peek from the corner is good. Vice dealing some substantial damage. Look at the HP that remains here for the T's. A stiff breeze could blow them over.
Oh, switching into maybe a hall pop.
Vice is going to move forward. Automatic good for one. Hiko trades immediately from the exact same position, and then he's going to play that spot we talked about with Tarek. Just here, right next to the sand hay bales. He knows that players could actually jump downwards, and that is in fact the case. Golden manages one. Skadoodle and Flusha now with an advantage over the top of Sick, who does have an op and a CZ. At this distance, he manages that headshot, and the frag could even win the clutch. If he nails this, what a... wow.
Money.
Awesome play here from Sick. I mean, a fadeaway drive-by CZ headshot and a grenade for the ages.
That's not what the devs intended. They definitely nerfed the CZ accuracy at that distance, but his aim was pinpoint.
Look at this.
Boinked.
And the frag too. You know he realizes he's got this.
Yeah, see if there's a cross. Critical grenade.
Sick's got or Skadoodle rather, full of shrapnel as he tries to climb up the hay bales. Wanted a bit of a high ground. Instead, he's sent flying. Quick fight from Cloud9, being thrown up towards Banana. Look at the damage though. Molotovs, frags, and a second round as well. Not going to make any of their jobs easy. They do still hold on to a single flash, and they can actually just reallocate themselves towards apps. Try to do the waterfall strat. Burst out onto the A site and overwhelm Rogue.
That's a great fallback because you get, all that cover up into this final choke point, and then you rely on one flash, and then maybe no one gets hit. Maybe you just like come out swinging, get a blind kill. Like that's probably your best chance here with low HP. I like that idea for sure. Everybody walking to the end of halls now, waiting for the God Flash. Who's it blind?
Doesn't seem to get much more than an opportunity to fall down into their deaths. Vice. Big multi-frag for him. Not going to get the ace, but still a 4K regardless. It's a fifth for Rogue, and they're closing the gap now. Cloud9 started strong, but this CT side finding momentum here, Mohan.
Yeah, a couple of rifle rounds falling off towards the end there in this last couple of rounds, but we got another buy-up. I'm liking the ecos from Cloud9, how they're playing their force-ups as well. I even like how they rushed Arch that one round that they lost, but that was a crazy 1v2 from Sick. Still very prominent in my memory. Now Hiko nades down, and it's a money nade. Automatic taking down a half HP. A lot of this early damage will continue to happen if Cloud9 really want to and insist on becoming aggressive. Ooh, great flash. Sick actually baits out the peak, makes sure that they're still sticking around to look at it, and take some fire damage on the way to safety. But man advantage here for Rogue. Automatic looking a little worse for wear.
Oh.
Oh, spotted, but it wasn't good enough. This is a huge opening, man. Crystal going down so early, so deep in the site. And again, when you cheat someone over, but they die in the site, you can't rotate in time.
Nope. And
this is a tenant of Inferno.
if nothing else actually happens quickly for Rogue, maybe they do go for the save. We've seen them reserved in their retake attempts already. They've played their hand more so at the A site than B. Clump back up into construction. That's where they tend to hit the wall. They've got utility for this retake. They can burn out the back of the bomb site with those double incendiaries, and there's nothing Cloud9 can do about it. They cannot extinguish the flames or anything. What is up with Rogue? They have the utility, they have the positioning. This is like the third or fourth time now they get to that point and stall and do nothing.
Yeah, I think
like, okay, you do it once or twice, but at this point, we're getting into the closing
I thought for
portion
sure
of the
they
half.
go for this. Like they didn't even throw their utility, which is the weird part.
This was the one time that they should have really done it.
It seems like what they're waiting for, or what their like retake is contingent on, is if someone makes like a glaring error on the T side and they get the one kill, then they are like all set up to throw nades or something weird like that. But when they do that, sometimes when they're leaving construction, they get killed or they have to fight in really awkward ways. So yeah, I agree with you. It's a strange thing that they're doing. There might not be the correct calls happening.
There's been moments where I get it, but that time I thought for sure that they had enough to justify the try.
Like definitely they got the 2 Molotovs. Like they're well set up and they had enough time. It would have been unlikely, but still, like they had the appropriate tools.
Oh well, let's see if they can continue this half and maybe finish off with the lead, because it's a possibility. 8-7. They managed 2 quick kills, so taking things back into their own hands here. Exerting force everywhere. Assuming map control now towards Banana 2. Starting to pull Crystal back. The only counter terrorist to have taken damage thus far would be Hiko. And he's just going to be carefully placed in pit. Aha, the old switcheroo. The left-right rush, sure. Take CT spawn. You don't have bomb, and neither do you have teammates.
1-on-5. This is what dreams are made of. 50 seconds up. Bomb in no man's land. He's unsure if it's been spotted. I'm unsure if it's been spotted. But his last position was known. If I fluffs a little bit of a spray there. But now the bomb has been taken over, and Rush is just in their spawn. He is in between where everybody rotates. He is standing on a highway right now. He's going to get hit by a car.
Hopefully not. Just playing around. Gives up his back eventually. I mean, it's a matter of time before you find further contact. If you're ever going to win a 1v5, you need to get 3 kills without taking damage. That's my philosophy.
Golden rule.
No, Rush.
Right, other teammate. $10 apiece for Automatic and Golden. It's relatively even across the team. Rogue trailing behind Cloud9 still, even though it looks like they've been quite strong in these past few rounds. Cloud9 have been able to abuse B in these rotations, and Flusha once again happy to take damage running up onto the site. A third Molotov lands somewhere behind him, and my goodness. He also gets killed. Didn't shoot a bullet that round.
Nope, just caught in Banana. Tends to do his own thing at times when it comes to that Banana control, and this time they're just going to charge up around the archway. Rikke putting down the flames, catching the tail end of the caboose, but he's so blinded that they get up in his face, and still he's able to succeed with another kill.
He's been doing great.
It's Skadoodle now with an op. Let's see what you've got.
After this round, he wins it. He's going to start opping again, right?
I mean, I think Skadoodle is an incredible clutcher.
Yeah, he's the best clutcher on Cloud9. Maybe not now that Flesh is on the team, but he was.
Got 2 kills in this one already. Assumes a position inside of the apps. Opts not to wrap. And Rogue, how do you play this?
He's actually got him like dead to rights. I'd be surprised if Skadoodle lost it at this point. He took a risk by jumping up on halls, but since they didn't clear this and they're not coming here, he gets his first kill for free. How does he lose a 1v1? I can't imagine it.
Plus his last positioning was over towards Library, where the bomb is currently planted for. Has yet to pull the trigger. Now he does. Crystal, all that's left over. Flash goes high. Crystal trying to put smoke on the bomb. He's got a little bit of cover, but Skadoodle can still hit this, and he most certainly will. 4K for Ska. That right there is an 8th round for Cloud9, and he even gets to keep his off.
I know he had something funny to say after winning that round. Like, yep, this is our problem. I wasn't opping. Yeah, that was extremely well played. It all comes down to that initial
And
risk.
somebody still takes it from him.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably his decision, right? Like, they're trying to stick to a plan.
With a tear in the corner of his eye.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, he doesn't talk much, so maybe they're like, hey, you want to do this? And he's like, shaking his head or something in an ambiguous fashion, and they're just like, yep, I'm doing it. But no, I mean, they've been teammates for so long, right? Like,
Yeah, of course.
it's not,
Yeah,
like,
they
there
make
can't be
jokes,
any
but
bullying.
No.
Also, I mean, he's got that Iowa strength. I feel like he'd take him down if he had to.
Yeah, farmer power.
Yeah. Although Automatic, I think he was a wrestler. He threw a mean punch on at the Katowice punching bag at the after party. Don't put those at after parties.
I was gonna say that's one of my biggest it's one of the most biggest pet peeves is at esports after parties where you see these like punching bag machines and it's like
that is so bad
you
for
see
people,
players
drunk
just
people.
pounding on it
Yeah.
while intoxicated and you think to yourself, man, your hands are your
There was a
money.
DreamHack employee that I think broke his arm on it.
I saw Paula roundhouse kick one of those. No joke.
Thank God.
Six to get pressured in the corner. Rush just obliterates him with an SMG, and that's quite the upgrade from the MAC-10 to the M4. Audi caught by Ricky. And Ricky's going to double back towards B because he knows that it's open for the taking, and sure enough, Cloud9 seem to as well. They charge on in.
Ooh.
Shoulder
Got
peek
that.
me. And that's what happens. Ricky 16-6 at the moment. That AWP presence has been strong, and we talked about it in the pregame. Natu brought it up. A man advantage for Rogue, but they have consistently denied themselves the attempt at the retake here on B. This time, it looks like they will. They're all coming in off Banana. They have to clear construction because that's where Skadoodle's at. Golden and Rush actually within the site, hiding in the most minimal of cover. Not going to be an easy job at all, but the time is halfway ticked, and it's planted for Rush. He emerges with a first kill, but not the second. Glocks out. What's happening? It falls on Skadoodle for another 1v3, and it's a bunch of bodies to line up just as they get on bomb. The time is the biggest issue. That's the question, but don't you fret. They've got it.
That was really, really hard to watch. Oh my gosh, that was maximum cringe. I don't know exactly what happened with Rush's keys there, but he was switching, he was shooting, he was reloading all at the same time. That was just a sensory overload. I'm glad that round's over so we can move on to the second half, Connor.
Yeah, bit of a shaky end here to the first 15, but close as can be nonetheless. Flushes pistol round. That was a good lockdown on the Banana. I think my favorite round of this entire 15 would have been Skadoodle's clutch.
Absolutely. Definitely the most standout moment. In general, Ricky is just looking clean.
Yes.
Super consistent. One of the only consistent offers that we're seeing in Pro League. And I'm loving it, man. Ricky's coming into his own, just as Natu mentioned. And I think bright future ahead for him, for sure.
I think as of late, you know, it's Cadian, while he was instrumental to the most recent of their success, he's replaceable. You take out Ricky, you gotta field another great opper.
There are not that many around, man.
Nope, far and few between. And a lot of the time outsourced, right? We got Ricky, we got Cirque, playing at the top level of NA. Them there foreign oppers, worth their weight in gold. Golden peeks off the teammate's flash, does manage himself one headshot, Skadoodle through the wood. That's a nice little clip. Sticks it to Rogue, who would love to tie this up in the opening round and then establish a lead. But if they want to win pistol, they'll play off the back foot in this 4v3.
Not going to be easy to gain this ground back. Hiko reaches as far as he can for a USP and is successful. That is something, that is a really big pickup, you know, versus a Glock on a T-pistol round. And he's coming around the angle on Flusha. It's going to be the dirtiest peak battle possible, but he's got backup. It's not a clean fight, as it should never be. In Counter-Strike, it's definitely not about 1v1s if you can avoid it. And are they going to run the fake? They're so frantic, it feels like they're just going to take this and go the other way. But no, Skadoodle's here from quad, getting mollied a little bit. Might be happy to take that, but he was also pushing the position they wanted him to be in.
Yeah, they knew exactly where to look, and sure enough, they drop him. 1 health for Hiko, so this could have been the 1v1, and now it's at least cut down to a single crystal. Not so clear who was going to pick that up, but it is Cloud9 in the end. That's 9-7, and momentum for them on the defense.
Automatic came in from the Came in for the free RWS and got Jackie Chan out the other side of the screen.
He thought he had him dead to rights, but no, sir, not yet. Bomb plant at least, so maybe we see a conservative purchase here in the second. Ooh! Quick flick. Nicely done there, Crystal.
Yeah. Made it look easy. So Cloud9 take a lead now with this pistol round. Definitely ensuring it. Everybody's got SMGs besides Rush. Good to see some kind of push. Does Flusha really just have that USB? Yeah. It might be opping on CT side. Oh my god, it's one of these hybrid ops combos. Very abnormal.
And really sketchy in the face of
Just
what
bring over
is-
JW, man. This is getting weird.
Get them all in there. Just pack it full of Swedes.
Yeah.
Like clowns in a car.
Like some berries.
I'm scared if I'm Cloud9. Once this AK is revealed, I mean, you're fighting off of not the best of hardware. Most notably Flusha.
Look at this. The MP5 crossfire. Oh.
And the initial damage goes their way. So that's the most liable of CT defenders, but a fantastic frag grenade.
Bit of an equalizer. They get early information. I definitely like how Rogue are approaching this.
Yeah, keeping themselves in close proximity, welcoming these keys in. MP9 mow down, so much damage. I mean, you have minimal health there for Rikke, Sick, and Crystal. Hiko gonna take the AK, understandably.
Golden needs to start throwing these guns, but he's afraid they might jump through the smoke. He's too far away now to protect it, but it's more important that he stays alive. And there is still this AK laying in wait, just as you mentioned.
And 3 incendiaries. That's gonna be a big one.
Oh,
25
wow.
seconds.
Good call.
Automatic, though, he's lost his positioning, unless he throws it out boiler door, which would be great, because they literally cannot run through it without offering up their lives. But he's going to attack from the back line. Rush distracts over here from Library. That's the M4 down. The bomb itself is planted in the most deep of corners, and Hiko turns back in from pit. This is all on Golden. An opportunity. But at MP9, for him to work with not the best of guns, not versus a guy like Hiko, who not only has, again, the AK, but positioning in pit. Runs up to the M4 and swaps over, tries to nail Hiko right away. He's already taken substantial damage, clears his flank. Another man up close in front of his face. Bomb so far gone already. This is Rogue's round.
Yeah,
they've robbed it right back.
Get out of here, man. You need to save this gun because you're maybe going to buy next round. Like, you just want to hightail it at this point. Don't even stay close enough to die to the bomb. At least he gets those kills. Very lucky to do so. But that was a round earned by Rogue. They really waited it out. They were super patient, and we could see the clear lines drawn that even when a CT team is being aggressive, going down the T stairs would be another level of risk. And so Rogue, knowing that, just decided to lock that down, hold it out, make sure ult can't get pushed, they don't get flanked, and then played it slow. And Cloud9, sure enough, were able to fail. So that was a good comeback for sure. Love how they approached it. Fortunately for Cloud9, they didn't actually spend that much money, but they don't have enough to buy up into this one. But that's what makes this M4 all that much more important. Felt like Golden was being a little bit careless with it, to be honest. That was weird. I wonder what Rush was shooting at. Like, I don't know if he saw someone off the corner of that moto smoke, but like, it just looked like he was gonna die. And I mean, even without X-ray, you know there's 2 people on the site waiting to spam the smoke, right?
Yeah.
So it looked weird to me, like...
Literally waiting for a Q, which his tracers certainly were.
Yeah, if they had waited a little bit more, they had better guns. They could have just tried to come in for the retake, but I'm not sure exactly what happened.
Ooh, Vice clearing up above. Does fall in the end to Automatic. Still a 4v4. Still at a big advantage for Rogue, who could double back towards B at any moment. And it's not going to be like last round where those pieces of utility can really make the difference. The further Crystal gets, the more certain they are that A is for the taking. But there is a man within the bomb site. Flusha just hiding behind the box. Here's the footsteps next to him. Flicks quickly and does manage the kill, but through the corpse, Crystal finds his head. Automatic not going to get back around the corner this time. So the plant at 20 seconds. Smoke to obscure the vision of Golden. Tries to spam against the pit, but will find nothing for it. He should just fall off and save, because Skadoodle can't offer much help with just this USP. You'd think. Hello? Nabs an AK, and that's a parting gift for him to fall back with.
Yeah, he's definitely having a game for himself for sure. So they at least get those 2 guns. They are able to buy next round. It's going to be even for Rogue and Cloud9, but I don't think Rogue are safe by any means. They were able to steal back that eco, but this game is far from over, as Drake would say. Do you like Drake?
He's all right.
Canadian, Torontonian.
Is that why you like him?
Partially, yeah.
I'm upset.
50,000 on my head is
disrespect.
Yeah, I think like some of the stuff it's becoming a little bit more poppy, but he's like a billionaire now, so you know he can kind of say he doesn't really care how much clout he has. You know, people want to criticize him for being soft or whatever. It all might be true, but I don't think he really, I don't think he cares anymore.
Oh no, I'm just a billionaire.
One thing he did that was awesome though was just how many times he would talk about Toronto. You know, that was cool.
He does. Yeah, he does have that.
He made Toronto this place that people want to talk about, like.
Yep.
Which is cool.
I don't think we have any.
No one held it down like that, for sure.
No influential rappers from Montreal that I know of.
Yeah, French rap is a little.
Careful what you say, boy.
I'm French, so I have the card.
You say that as if like you are. I remember you were talking to somebody the other day. You're like, "Yeah, I'm French," and I'm thinking in the back of my head, like, "Bro."
So you just have to say it like as a matter of fact.
You've got like 5 words.
And they start hearing the accent, you know.
Je m'appelle Claude. Have you seen Friends? Talking about shows. I've seen every episode of that as well.
Oh wow, no, I've seen Friends, but not every episode. It's funny though. Good times. This is the round. They stole back the economy. Cloud9 back on their feet. Whole different round. Very passive CT setup. Time taken down. Rogue looking at A. 3 players here. Who's gonna win?
Either Cloud9 or Rogue.
Okay, 50-50.
But they're waiting, and doing so is very dangerous because 25 seconds up means they need to get this in clean. Ooh. And a frag grenade, knowing that they're on the offense, could have done more damage, but still a little bit of chip. Now it's getting through the crossfire, the meat grinder. The defense being held by Cloud9. Nobody going down until finally Ricky pops this open. Hiko's here to try and clutch in a 1v2. The bomb goes down just in the nick of time, but it's being pushed by Golden. So even if the plant was there, which was somehow denied in the end, it would have been a rapid defuse. Double digits to the CTs.
Oh yeah, nanoseconds before that bomb actually touches the floor. So Golden hits that strafe. Make sure to deny them any money, knowing that Hiko's definitely going to go for this. With 2 up, there's no way he wins otherwise, and overall, it's a pretty good hold. They basically didn't have enough flashes and a creative way to take the site that could help them get up lane, and decided to take the fights, but Cloud9 were very ready for that. Back to the Force. We're on the Force buy. Crystal pulling a Flusha.
Oof. Skadoodle says no. Walk away.
That was a big thing though. Vice kind of let a lot of players get by, I think. And it was hard to pick. You can't just stay peaked, so sometimes players can slip by, but it felt like a lot of the times they were able to sneak into the site, get too far in, and then he didn't even give himself a chance to really have a 60-40 engagement. Instead, it was more like 50-50 or just get caught completely off guard.
Very minimal cover here for Skadoodle. Just trying to stay alive, and eventually they will find enough angles to take him down. A team effort concentrated by Ricky. Bomb plant next to Coffins. Do Cloud9 walk away as liberally as Rogue did on these retakes? No reason to, with Automatic getting that quick kill. That's the thing that Rogue could never find. Rapid impact and a 3-man spray down. Timothy Ta. Gratata.
Nice. Timothy Tim Titty Ta.
Nice stuff, man. They all walked right into him. Thought maybe they could overpower for the map control launders, but what a rude awakening that was.
That was nice. Thought Rogue had this locked up after those 2 insane entries. Vice getting the 1 dig. Automatic just turns it into an easy spray transfer. And they barely walk away with another one. The overall, though, the CT side has just played so timid on both sides, and it's not like it feels like they're just doing bare bones stuff right now. We'd like to see more banana control. I don't think Rogue will be able to take it so easily if they put a little bit more attention in doing damage to them early on. Instead, it's just this like 2-3 setup, and they're like, hey, look, come into my site, let's see if we can hold.
Whoa, Flusha got to run. Oh boy. Caught as well with his back turn. Now Automatic in the middle of throwing a smoke, still maintains the arch control. A third and not a fourth. The spray down so on point in these most recent of rounds. Bomb retrieve, that could have been atrocious, but nonetheless, Skadoodle finds himself the carrier, and then Rush will seal the deal. That's a 3-point lead for Cloud9. And Rogue, not yet successful as of late.
The hero they don't deserve, man. Automatic coming in clutch once again. An eco round about to get out of hand, and he just hits the 3K spray down. Very well done, very well done. Now a little bit of money saved up for the teammates that he saved from dying. And Rogue are on guns. Oh, great nade lands just right behind Crystal.
Yeah, we talk about that initial Molotov that's kind of thrown in that same place, right? Really good at pushing the T's either back down ramp or into the banana stack. But when you do it with a frag, you can still pay off, as seen.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a lot cheaper too, so if you can get the same value out of it, why not save the money?
Money makes the world go round. Makes it spin like Vice's head as he's tagged to 48. Here comes the push-up apps. Rush in position to drop the cross. That is exactly what they'd hoped for. Even with Rush lost, it's all right. Goes the way they'd hope. It's going to be this B hit. CTs on a fast rotate towards arch side at least. Would cut off a few seconds if the utter rotate's called. They're getting the utility out of these B defenders, however. And it's going to be on Ricky to crack this one wide. He's got Golden to try and deal with, and that's Op versus M4. Crystal goes through smoke, and he's going to regret that decision.
Yeah, last-ditch effort, just a total Hail Mary by Rogue as they now run the last two people up to A. They needed him to either get a kill, take an attention away, and actually they kind of did. Automatic's holding the spot, misses the first shot, though. It's going to allow for the plant, and now isn't in a position where he can actually stay here to fight more or even be a pest. Ricky is going to finally have a chance now to shine in the post-plant 2v4 situation, but it's a critical round for Rogue still.
And a retake that's already nearby. It's going to be the three-pronged assault. One arch, two lane, and man in apps. Ricky going to have to lay down the law, and he does so with a flick into the skull of Skadoodle. Vice, Mac-10 hiding inside of the bomb site. Ricky still looking for an additional target. Now he's going to need all three. And a flying man in his face. Nothing he can do about that. Flusha with some extracurricular words.
Yeah, he says he does that because he knows it helps people.
Yeah?
I don't think he cares. I don't think he's ever mad. Maybe he is. His name was Flusha Mad at one point.
He's more of a troll.
Yeah, I think he's very much a troll, and I think he knows exactly how to play the psychological game as well.
He's got that like Swedish troll kind of side smile that he does every once in a while. He knows when he's being cheeky.
Absolutely. I
attempt by Ricky. I mean, I feel like he hit a target and then he teleported away. I lost track of where Flusha was at.
Yeah, he did a good job of being too crazy to follow.
Crazy eyes.
The Doja eyes.
ESL clipped that and put it on Twitter.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's where it belongs.
First point of contact is Flusha. Successful kill for him. And as the T's attempt to go forward, they are going to be met with a strong arm.
And just like that, huh?
Mouthful of face. Or fists.
Ever eat some face?
Every once in a while. 5 up, Mohan. This is Cloud9 pulling ahead and exerting a gap between them and Rogue.
Yeah, I have to be honest. It suddenly feels like it's over, and it was like not over for a while there. Rogue were looking pretty strong. Ricky has 21 kills. In the second half, he's not done so hot. He needs to be able to get more opening kills. Kind of wanted to throw him a bone there in the afterplant. It would have been like he would have to be a savior for the team to have gotten all 4 of those kills. But if he did, it kind of would have made up for the lack of openings that they've been able to find. And I don't know how much of that is him not being set up, or if he's missed shots that we didn't see, or what.
And it's difficult to be an opera on the T side of Inferno.
Absolutely.
So you're looking at somebody else to find those openings. And if Ricky is still the one who's performing best of all, you know, it's tough for him to find that space. He needs to be given the space into the mid round. But if nobody else can find openings, Ricky's job gets all the harder. It's a big flurry from Rogue, straight down into the A bomb site. Flashbang from Flusha, trying to set up Rush, who does have this corner to hold on to. He's actually going to repeat successfully for an additional kill. Sick cannot get the best of him. What an utter denial from Cloud9. You could see the two A defenders were sitting on a sliver of health. Just a testament as to how close the entry was. But in the end, it's successful for Cloud9, and 6 rounds the difference now, as Rogue are against the ropes.
It feels like Rogue are just starting to speed it up and go for the same things over and over again. I feel like we had something similar from them on Mirage, where near the end of a game, they just started, they played that.
Just charging out A ramp.
On Dust 2, they saved when it was like near match point and they had enough money to buy, but they just were playing super patient and careful. And then on Mirage, near the end of the game, they started losing. They just started rushing.
Rogue versus Renegades, I believe.
That's what it was. Look at this, rushing B right now.
Yeah, straight down middle goes Rush himself, and that's the back line. But who is it, Mohan? It's the bomb carrier.
Interesting. Who has the bomb? Who can actually grab this?
Ricky shows his feet. Bison Crystal also hanging on by just a thread. Time not the issue. It's the fact that they don't have control of this. And it's not going to be easy to obtain.
Yeah, automatic here. If he just smokes top banana, they can just isolate Vice, force him to fight.
Flush up. Losing half his health to a teammate's fire. Smoke goes down, they could spam it, or flash straight through. Beautiful utilities.
Beautiful indeed. Well done. That's it. Round 1 of 2 for Cloud9. They take it. They look confident in the end. Overall, just a pretty solid CT side. Some cool stuff that Rogue did. Some interesting decisions on their B retakes or attempted retakes or farce retakes where they pretended that they thought that they were going to retake and didn't.
Yeah.
And
some hesitations there.
Very much so.
This CT side actually got so far ahead of me. I didn't even realize that was the 16th round. I kind of forgot, right? The rapid pace.
Yeah, again, and Rogue just started to speed it up towards the end. They weren't even like clearing stuff out. They're just like, hey, let's rush A, rush B.
And it works in the end. So Cloud9, again, creating a gap in that second half that did enable for them to take this first map. But they'll have to do it not only in the second half, the second map. It's coming up next, folks, and you're not going to want to miss it. The last map of the first week of Pro League.